Today, Saturday, the 6th of June 2026. Let's continue from what we left last night on the life of the Buddha. So, last night I spoke about the Buddha speaking on the Anattalakkhana Sutta, discourse that describes about nothing, the anatta, the non-self concept. And at the end of the listening to this talk, all the 5 attendants became an arahant. So that was the first Buddhist to be born in Buddhism after the Buddha's enlightenment. And among that, there were 5 ascetics. Among that, the Venerable Kalyana, the one who understood the first. And the rest followed, one after another. And at the end of the discourse on non-self, they attained the liberation. After their liberation, Buddha again stayed in Saranath, and according to the story says that around that area, probably Varanasi, near to the Savatthi where the Buddha was staying at that time, one of the wealthy family had only a child, the child, but the scripture doesn't speak about his background much, or whether he had a wife and children or not. So this wealthy man, wealthy son was entertaining himself similar, according to the scripture, similar to the Buddha. So he had 3 palaces or 3 mansions for 3 different seasons, and he had all the luxuries that one could think of or one could wish for. So he was living a very luxurious life, but somehow one night when he woke up in the middle of the night, he noticed that those who were entertainers, serving servants, all sleeping on the ground like the crops, dead bodies lying all around. Now, having seen that dead bodies lying around in such a way, he felt disgusting, and he reflected that life is disgusting. So he felt uncomfortable to be in the mansion. As soon as dawn breaks, the sun arises, then he left the mansion and went into the forest, mumbling that, oh, it's so chaotic, oh, so chaotic, a chaotic world. So he proclaimed, mumbling these things, as he mumbled, walked on the path to this forest. And it happened that nearer this wealthy man known as Yesa Kulaputta, Yesa, was working inside the deep jungle, and it happened that the direction that he was walking, the direction that leads to the Buddha, who just had given first sermon, second sermon, and the five disciples. So the Yesa, he was walking towards the forest. As he went deeper, Buddha was also teaching. Buddha just had taught the five ascetics, and all the five ascetics just became an arahant. So while he was resting, he heard this Yesa, the wealthy son, mumbling with the chaotic, went into, and the Buddha said that, "Come this way." Buddha, this sent is like a microphone, send the message to him, saying, "Come this way, come this way. There is no chaos. There is only happiness." So with that um, hearing, the Yesa went towards the sound, and there he found the Buddha. And he found the Buddha. So the Buddha was there, sitting calmly under the tree. And having seen the Buddha, then Buddha gave the Dhamma to this Yesa. And this Dhamma is known as a gradual instruction or gradual progress or progressive discourse. It's called Anupubikatha. Anupubikatha. So, in early Buddhist texts, it refers to the way of um, the Buddha often taught to people step by step, preparing their minds before presenting the deeper teaching. So the Buddha will start with basics and then go up to the higher and higher teaching, the deeper and deeper instructions. So the typical outline of the Anupabikatha, there are five teachings that the Buddha laid out. So number one is called the dana, as we know about it. Dana is a generosity or giving. Number two is sila, ethical conduct or a moral discipline. Sagga is the benefit of wholesome actions that leads to the good rebirths in the heavens. And then after that he taught um, the withdrawing himself or withdrawing oneself from essential pleasures, so-called kamadhinava. Kamadhinava. So it's like a feeling of a dispassion or withdrawing oneself from the essential, the kamadi, the essential pleasures. Um, so that's the fourth one. And the fifth one is the value of a renunciation and a freedom from attachment. This is a bit deeper and it requires quite a significant amount of a debate on this particular task. Then after Buddha spoke about it, then Buddha would teach the other teachings starting from Four Noble Truths, and then Three Characteristics, and Satipatthana, and so on. So that the idea is the pedagogically helping people to understand the teachings rather than teaching profound doctrines to the newcomers or freshers. And as a result, Buddha instructed monks to speak on the dana first, and which again, as we know, whenever people talk about uh, the temples and the monks, and one of the complaints they normally speak about is why monks are talking only dana, dana, dana. Yeah, always giving dana, always giving dana. Yeah. So actually, this has a lot to do with our own preparation and a practice, and also how one could let go of the attachments. And in the meantime, dana is also part of giving away our attachment, our stinginess, as well as support the center for the new generation. And our uh, fathers have sponsored the temples and the monks by giving. So with that, we have this opportunity to come across with Buddhism, and the teachings still exist. And then we have to remember that Buddha's teaching is not about something airy fairy and can't relate in their lives. So Buddha's teachings is more of uh, talking to the lay people, or talking to people and their way of life, and it matches whatever the instructions or the talks are given. It matches with their current situation and understanding. And then, after understanding such, so the Buddha uh, go up um, uh, towards the ethical and mental development, which is again preparing oneself to embark on the path to develop progressively, develop wisdom progressively, then rather than all at once. So, so Buddha is basically teaching, um, think big, think big, and do it again and again, and gradually it will come to fruition. Now, when we know that dana is the crucial part in the practice of the Dhamma, so as a result, we will be able to overcome our stinginess, and also we will not be attached to it. So I spoke with one of the ladies this morning, and she was a very successful a business lady, um, had a couple of Thai restaurants, and now she's just about to reach the 80s, and she decided to give up all the businesses to um, her family, and she was traveling and enjoying her life. In the meantime, she has organized and is organizing, supporting the temples in different parts. And I asked her that why are you doing such, and the response was that during her working time she didn't have much time to go to the temple, although she sent a donation to the temples, but didn't have much time to go to the temples. So now getting old, so rather than just keeping money for herself and waiting for the death, so she enjoyed traveling in different temples, and supporting different monks, and supporting different temples. So she said that this way she will be taking the wealth that she has earned, and enjoying the wealth that she had been working such a long time. When I heard that, then I realized that, oh, she's very clever. she knows that the time is very short, so she learned to live her life fully by using all the money that she earned during her heyday time. And meantime, her travel is not like normal travels that goes to the expensive areas and staying in expensive places, but rather going to the temples and listening the talks and visiting these monasteries as her main target. So when I heard that, and I feel very um, interesting, and her devotion. So yeah, that was really something. In the meantime, yesterday I spoke with one of the ladies in Thailand. She used to uh, believe in Hinduism or Hindu gods, and her husband had an affair, and yet she was abused. So she was going through really terrible time, and at that time I was about 25, 26 years old. I met with her, and she uh, she was she had a tailor shop in Phuket. So I visited in Phuket a couple of times, and after tsunami also I went to support, spiritually supporting, and some financial support. I think I gave her about um, less than 5,000 baht, but she kept thinking of it. And now she is almost to um, 70, yeah, 70. And at that time when I met her, she was in a miserable state, and yet she was running that tailor business. And after meeting her, she began to practice the Dhamma, yeah, and she began to understand the right way of giving a dana. And here, right way means that she was giving to the priests, and she was spending a lot of Amisa puja, like preparing lots of things, preparing like material things, fruits, flowers, incenses, and inviting a priest to perform the ceremonies and so on. But she never felt relief or free from suffering. But after I met her and spoke about the proper way of doing danas, then she started to invite monks and visiting monks and giving monks and supporting monks, and also went on to the practice of the meditation. And she felt very first time when she went to meditate, she felt something different, and that's how she continued studying the Dhamma and practicing the Dhamma and giving the dana. And yesterday when I spoke with her, she was still remembering those miserable moments, and those kind of opening her eyes to do the dana. And now, even nowadays, she always uh, gave dana and the offerings to monks. Particularly, I was told that every month she is helping senior monks from Myanmar who comes to Bangkok for the physical checkups, and currently she is looking after one very senior monk from Myanmar who has got the cancer. Now he is in Thailand for the treatment. Now she is visiting him, and giving hospitality, and also taking care, including translation, medical bills, and so on. Although she is not that rich, because after tsunami, she wasn't able to continue her tailor shop long due to the financial strain. So she stopped, and now whatever she has left, so she is doing that and visiting monks and temples like that. And yesterday she said that she is so lucky to come across with the Buddhism and had have this opportunity to learn the Dhamma and practicing this like Anupubhikata, the giving a dana and a practice of a sila. And the practice of a sila later, she became a calm, and she asked a divorce from her husband, as her husband had already an affair. So peacefully they broke, um, so breakaway, and ever since she's been observing eight precepts. So that about, let's say, 20 years, observing eight precepts like a nun, and very dedicated. So she is very still and studying and practicing meditation quite a lot. Um, so in terms of the practice of a sila, she is a very dedicated practitioner. And even when I go to Thailand, she often invites me to her home, and I always tell her, as soon as she offers food to the monks, she will separate herself and she will have her meal. So she is very strict on that moral practice as well. So with that, she is also having kind of a Dhamma eye. So I'm very happy to see her progress, and although she is very old now, but her intention to help monks and practice the Dhamma still continued. And in terms of the third one, the heavenly, and then according to the Buddha's this gradual teachings, the third is the Sagga, or the heavenly rebirths. Now, these heavenly rebirths, I am pretty sure that someone who has been doing good things will reborn in the heavens. But we have to remember, heavens is not something or somewhere that we will be living forever. This concept of the heaven given to the lay followers simply to kind of allure them to do good things, because we have been trained, and the society also influence us that if we do good, we will get good results. And in order to get prize or praise or honor, then we have to do good. And similarly, what is life after then? So this is again not only in Buddhism, this is like a standard, a form of a belief or a perception in all the faiths and all the civilization, that after someone died, they will be reborn in the heavens, and in the heavens you will have all the luxurious lives, comfortable livings, and which will encourage members of community to do good things. They hope that after doing good, they will be reborn in the heavens. So the Buddha also used that tactic, although Buddha didn't stop there saying that once you are born in the heavens, this is the eternal. But the Buddha rather said that this is not eternal, but just the temporal. So as a result, he then again explains the fourth one, saying that this passion in essential pleasures. So heavenly world is another form of essential pleasure as well. And even as a humans, we have many sensual pleasures. We entertain so many things. So Buddha's instruction is to develop this passion. And here, and this passion will help to create the concept, or they create the urgency of letting go, or nekamma, or renunciation, or having freedom from any sorts of attachment. So once someone who has understood the attachment, or the renunciation or letting go, then that person will be able to study the Dhamma, the Four Noble Truth, etc. So this is how the Buddha laid the gradual teachings to all of us to contemplate and reflect. And that same concept, the same principle, the Buddha taught to Yesa, the wealthy son. And after hearing Buddha's teachings, he asked permission to be a monk. So he also became a monk on that very stop. And the story goes on saying that they couldn't find him in around the palaces or mansions. They became panicked, and they walk around everywhere, and then also came to that direction where the Buddha and Yesha, along with other 5 monks, were staying. So yeah, they went up and asked that, have you seen my son? Then the Buddha taught them again the Dhamma, and according to the scripture says that Yesa's parents, both husband and wife, also understood the Dhamma and asked to be the supporter of Buddhism, supporter of the Buddha, and requested to accept them as the disciples of the Buddha. As a result, these two parents of Yesa Kulaputta, who was already a monk by then, these two parents, the parents of him, became the first lay disciples of the Buddha. And also these two took the so-called Dvevachika Saranagama, means these two took, so Tevachika, these two took, the first time took the 3 refuges, the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. So refuge to the Buddha, refuge to the Dhamma, refuge to the Sangha. So that's how the Yesa's parents became the first couple to be a real Buddhist follower at that time, and the Buddha silently accepted them. And this is the story of Yesa and his enlightenment. So after he listened to 5 progressive discourses, Yesa became the Arhat. At that time, then his parents came in search of him, and his parents also heard the teachings, and then they become the followers of the Buddha and the sponsorship, providing sponsorship to the monastery. Now, according to the legend, further on, after hearing him becoming a monk, his 54 friends also joins him and become monk and ordains at the same time. And they all again, after hearing the similar discourses from the Buddha, also became an Arahat. And that's how during that very early days, Buddha had 60 disciples, well practiced or well developed in their senses. So and that's how when the Buddha saw the 60 disciples, and then he set up the mission to spread the teachings around the country, or spread the good news of this teaching. and which is the reason now we receive it after 2000 millennia, 2000 years later. So this is the story of Yesa and his enlightenment, and his parents and his friends, that actually caused to create the Dhammadutta missionaries that will go and preach the Dhamma to every levels. So I stop here, and let's do the chanting.